Can you guys read that? That is the converter charger in our brand new 2023 travel trailer. And it says that it can detect whether you have a lithium battery or a lead acid battery automatically. Well, maybe not. Let me tell you what's happening right now. Hi guys, it's Brad and Diana from It's About Time Now. Many of you have reached out to us and wanted to know about our lithium battery upgrade that we did to our brand new 2023 Rockwood 2205S. The first thing we want you guys to know is this video is not sponsored. We received no discounts. Everything we did, we paid for. This is simply the way that I did it. Doesn't mean it's the only way you can do it, but because you asked for it, we're going to show you what we did. When we purchased this new travel trailer, we knew we wanted to put lithium batteries in it. We've had lithium batteries in our last two motorhomes and really have been impressed with their performance, so we decided we would put them in here too. This was an eye-opener for me. I began to learn things that I didn't have any idea existed in this particular model. The first problem that I ran into was they gave me this beautiful double battery box, but it would only hold two group 24 batteries. Most of your lithium batteries, when you're buying a pair, are group 27. They're slightly taller and they're slightly longer, and they would not fit in that battery box. So I had to come up with another battery box idea.
You think that's it?
Yeah, that's it. So what we settled on was this Harbor Freight trailer tongue toolbox, and we'll leave the information for that in the description below. This box fit perfectly straight across the trailer tongue itself and behind the propane bottles and the camper. One of the reasons that I really like this toolbox is I can lock it, and therefore I don't have to worry about somebody just coming, taking two straps off and running off with my brand new lithium batteries. I'm not going to say they can't get them, but it's certainly going to make it a little more difficult. The other thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to add my Victron battery monitor like I had in my other rigs. This gives me how much amperage I'm drawing, how long my batteries will last at the current draw. It's important to note that this new rig has a 12-volt refrigerator and a 190-watt solar panel on the roof. My intention is to add a second 190-watt solar panel in the not too distant future, but that's for another video. So let's get back to my lithium battery install. I chose two Group 27 heated batteries. It's important to note that I bought the heated batteries. These Battleborn batteries have a built-in heater inside the battery itself. It's powered by the battery. You simply hook a jumper wire and a switch to that. The reason being is if you get a lithium battery down below 35 degrees, it will not charge. It simply is unable to do that. So having the built-in heaters allows the batteries to keep warm, and they will charge even when it's cold outside. And because these batteries are mounted on the tongue of our trailer and not inside the camper, it's important that they be kept warm if you're camping in the fall or early spring or even in the dead of winter. So as I discussed before, this is our heater switch, and that enables me to turn the battery's heaters on in a moment's notice when the temperatures get cold. Now, installing this Harbor Freight toolbox on the tongue and putting the batteries in it was not a simple cut and dried process. First of all, I had to buy two battery trays and mount those in the bottom of the toolbox. The next problem was there were no holes in this toolbox to pass the cables through, so I bought some step bits which allow me to step the hole size up, and then I bought cable stuffing tubes to mount in the box so that there would be no chafing or problems with the cables coming into the battery box. This in turn caused another problem. The existing cables were not going to be long enough. So I had to replace the positive cable, and then the negative cable actually had just enough to reach the first negative post. So I didn't have to replace it, but I still had to get it through the stuffing tube. And on top of that, I had a third battery cable that goes to my inverter all by its lonesome. So I had to get it into the toolbox as well. These are things that you would find when you're doing this type of a replacement. I connected the toolbox to the trailer tongue with self-drilling, self-tapping screws. So it is permanently screwed into the tongue of the trailer. All in all, from start to finish, once I had purchased the required pieces that I needed, the whole process took me about 6 hours, but I really took my time with it. I wanted to make it neat, I wanted to make it clean, and I wanted to make sure that when I was done with it, I wasn't going to have any problems.
All right, as you know, we have been sharing with you our battery install. We've upgraded to lithium batteries, and we have a problem. You know, we were hoping not to have any troubles, but there's trouble. We have discovered that our converter charger is a problem. It's supposed to be auto detect. It's not auto, and it's not detect. Brad's going to tell you all about it.
So we are into the final phase of our lithium battery install here in our new travel trailer. Our unit came with a WFCO auto detect converter charger. I watched the videos, I read the book. I was initially told that it was plug and play. Just put in the lithium batteries and it would detect them and it would be ready to go. And then after I watched the videos by the company, they said, no, it has to have a full charge cycle for it to detect a lithium battery. What does that mean? That meant I had to kill my lithium batteries. I had to discharge them low enough that it could detect that it was lithium and switch over and recharge it. And there's a little green LED that needs to turn blue, and then it will feed full amperage to the batteries, and etc. so on. Well, I spent 18 hours killing my lithium batteries. Had every light on, fans on, the TV on, just left it all on until my batteries were low enough for this to auto detect. And on the video, the gentleman says, if it won't auto detect, your batteries are not discharged far enough. So I ran them down to almost 11 volts, which is as low as I wanted to go. And it still would not auto detect. So that prompted a phone call to the company that built the charge converter to WFCO. And they told me that I didn't have the right firmware version. And this was their comment. You need to remove the converter charger and send it to us. It will take 3 to 4 weeks and we will update the firmware and we will send it back to you. So when the company told me that I needed to remove the converter charger and send it to them, I was like, I just bought this trailer. I haven't even made the first payment on it. That's unacceptable. I hung up from them and I contacted Forest River. Forest River was like, what? No, that's incorrect. We will, if it needs a new firmware, we will make arrangements under warranty to have you take it in to a dealer and they will replace it for you. But they were very interested in the conversation that I had had with WFCO. They said they would get back to me. In the meantime, I called Battleborn, who built my lithium batteries, and I talked to them about this situation because there was a lot of finger pointing going on. It's because of your batteries. They're too far from the converter. You'll need to relocate them. Your battery cables aren't big enough, etc. so on. This is what I was being told by WFCO, which is what prompted the call to Forest River. I wanted to talk to Battleborn because I had run these batteries down to 11 volts and I knew that 0 was 10 and they would actually shut off via the battery management system if I dropped them below that, so I wasn't going any lower. And I wanted to make sure I had not hurt my batteries. And they assured me they were fine and I had not injured them in any way. They actually had talked to people about this issue before. I hung up from Battleborn and started doing a YouTube search and a web search and found out that many people were having problems with this auto detect feature. When you buy your RV from the dealer, if it's equipped with this, the salesman tells you it's plug and play, put the batteries in. And in reality, it's not plug and play, just put the batteries in. There are things you have to do. And if you do not have an engineering background, this may be well beyond your capabilities. And I let Forest River know that I thought that was wrong. In my other rigs, my converter charger had a little switch inside that you moved from position 1 to position 2, and it would change from lead acid to lithium. And you never had to think about it again. I think we've over-engineered this thing. And as WFCO told me when they called me back, and I'll talk to you about that in a second, they're trying to make a one product fits all, and it doesn't. So I got a call yesterday afternoon from one of the engineers at WFCO. And they said that no, I did not have to send my unit back to them. They would in fact send me an updated firmware unit that I could install. Now I want you to understand this is dealing with both your shoreside electricity and your 12 volt electricity. And I'm not going to do a how-to video on that because although I feel confident in doing it, many people would not feel confident in doing it. And I would recommend that you take this to your RV dealer and have them do this upgrade if you are experiencing this problem. But they're going to send me a new unit that is going to work. It's got the latest firmware, and they assure me that that will correct all of the issues. And once that's done, we should be good to go. Now, I wanted to talk for just a moment. Many of you are thinking, well, this whole lithium thing's not worth it. It's not working the way you want it to. Guys, I had every 12 volt accessory on in this camper for over 18 hours. And when I shut the batteries off, everything was still working. My inverter was still inverting, my TV, my refrigerator, all of my lighting, my fans, everything was functioning 18 hours in to being disconnected and running only on battery power. That's why I upgraded to the lithium batteries. It's an expensive proposition, no matter who you choose to go with. There are many good companies out there, but guys, I will tell you to do your research on your lithium batteries because you want to make sure that you're buying a product that's being stood behind and a product that's safe and a product with a good reputation.
All right, everybody, if you made it this far, we thank you for watching and we hope you found it enjoyable and informative. We love hearing from you. If you got something out of this or if you have some words of wisdom for us, please share it down in the comments. We are excited about taking this out on the road. We have made reservations to go up for some fall camping up to the Carolinas and Virginia, as well as we've actually booked into several Florida state parks that we haven't been to yet. And we are excited to get this back on the road. We'll be bringing you along with us as we do some new videos. And remember, it's about time now because tomorrow is not guaranteed.